Okay, good day everybody and welcome to yet another video on the hydraulic wheel loader. This is Kevin from Construction Scale Model Imports in Australia doing this video. We would like to thank our partners JD Construction, Eagle Machinery for providing us with this particular machine for this particular video. In this video we will talk about the lights, how they've been set up and what functions can be achieved using the Servonaut ML4. So as you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 chambers for putting lights. What I've done is I've gone for the left indicator on this one, the right indicator on this one. These two will work together as low beams or just plain driving lights, and I put these 1, 2, 3, 4 together has work lights if you're working in the night time. Now this 1, 2, 3, 4 is mirror imaged the same way at the back. So when I had these lights working in the front, I also have the same lights working at the back. Left indicator, right indicator, left indicator, right indicator, the same way and so forth. Now I haven't hooked it up because this is still in the trial phase. So here I have is my 2 brake lights and my 2 reverse lights, which is easy to set up if you have an S20 speed controller. Simple wiring, no headache, no issues over there, and you'll get that straight away when you forward and reverse the machine. Less complicated and much more easier than using any other speed controller over there. Okay, so I've got a battery. Let's do a bit of a trial, and I'll also show a few functions what we have on the radio. So let's get this thing up and running. Now I need to cut the volume because this could be loud in here. So make sure all the switches on the radio, need to be facing away from you. If not, you will get an error saying switch error. So power on. Okay, just for demonstration I'll put one switch away just to show our viewers what happens when you do one switch away from the center. So it will display and flash and beep and tell you switch error, switch error. So don't panic, nothing's wrong. Flick that particular switch or make sure all switches are facing, once again I repeat, away from you, and then it will go away. That is only because it then makes the radio go into a fail-safe mode, because this radio is used for planes and choppers also. So okay, now first I will go without the sound just to show you the light functions, which is going to make it a lot more easier when the sound is running, and then we'll do the sound and the lights again. So I've used this particular channel up here to get my lights. So when I flick it all the way down, I will get my low beams. Sorry, it's a bit touchy, so you have to be very quick to get this thing running up. Okay, so we got the 0 position. I go down, I wait for a second, I bring it back, and now I have my standard low beams or the plain lights when you're driving the wheel loader. Also I've connected my beacon because I'm now in motion, I'm at night, so people need to know I'm coming. If you keep it going down and hang on to it down there, it will actually flash. But if you bring it back to the center, you now have your work lights going there. So when you're working at night, you've got the work lights on these. So these hook up as one set, these two hook up as one set. Now on this particular knob, I now go up and I come back, and I now have my hazard lights. Forward, 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 back, reverse, rear, rear. So forward, forward, rear, rear. So they've got hazard lights up here, hazard lights up here, hazard lights up here, and hazard lights up here. Okay, so you go down, come back to 0, and then you go up, you come back to 0, and everything comes to a halt. It may look complicated and tricky, but once you wire it up, it just takes you probably 2 or 3 minutes to figure it out, and then you'll understand the sequence. So I go all the way up and I stay there and come back to 0. That gives me my hazard lights. I go all the way down and come back quickly to 0. It gives me my low beams. I go constantly down and stay there and come back. It gives me my high beams. Now if I watch this, if I go and stay there constantly, then the work lights and the low beams keep flashing. So just bring it to the center and they stay constant. Now I want to switch it off. I go all the way, wait for the lights to go off, come back to the center, and same for the hazard lights, wait for it to go off and then come back to the center and then puts it off. Well, you can set it up any way you like. It's not complicated. The instructions are very simple to figure out. Now with the engine, we're going to start the engine. I got to figure out which way is start and which way is on. So let's give this. Obviously that was the horn and the volume's too loud, so I'm going to cut it completely and come the other way and see until it's. Not sure if you guys can hear that. I may increase the volume a little bit more so you can hear. Okay, so the engine's now started. So you go down, it goes off, you go up, you get the horn. So you go down quickly and come back to the center, and that starts the engine. Then you can start the hydraulics. So we'll start the hydraulics. You can now hear the hydraulics go up there. Unfortunately, I cannot move my bucket simply because the camera is actually sitting on the bucket. I'm going to give it a quick try to see what happens. Let's give it a quick try. Okay, so you can see that the bucket actually. I'm going very slow so I don't trip the camera down. Okay, so that switch there is for the hydraulics. I can switch the pump off. You will hear the servo now for the gearbox. Right, so that was the servo for the 2-speed gearbox. This is for the steering, which I can't get now because my hydraulics is off, and this is forward and reverse. I better not do that or I'll end up driving this machine off the table. So to switch it off, once again you go all the way down, come back to the center, and the machine's off. So that is where we are in this particular video in regards to sound and lights fitted on this machine. Once again, if you have any questions, please do feel free to email us and we will try to answer your question. Thanks for watching. This is Kevin from Construction Scale Model Imports in Australia, doing a video on the sound and lights for the hydraulic wheel loader.